So hello everybody, welcome back. I wanted to talk to you right now about things that you might want to consider starting doing. It might be a little bit weird or whatever, but this might work and might help you out later on. So before I continue, I wanted to remind you that down below is my email in case that you want to help me out by sending an Amazon gift card. So thank you very much. I really appreciate that one. So anyway, here I go. So these things might seem, I don't know, kind of odd for some people, but once you try to get them, they kind of make sense. And some of these ideas are from some of my friends and some of them are my own. So, for example, number one, when you have problems with matches and lighters and you need to turn on several stoves and you need to pass fire from one point to another one, and then you don't have a way to do that, but or maybe you can have paper, but paper will burn so fast or whatever. You can actually get the Tetra Pak kind of containers, and you can cut them vertically like that, and in the thick of one finger of you, like that. And if you do that, you will have a long strip or a long kind of a stitch, and that you can use for moving fire from one place to another one that is close, and it will not burn you and it will give you a little bit of time, and at the same time it will be free because you already paid for it when you can do it, when you buy the milk or the juice or whatever the hell you bought in that container. So so the point is that you have the container, you use a scissor, you cut it, and then you store them. And then I don't know how often you have to use fire from one place to another one, but if you cook daily, you probably need that. So that is a good thing to be doing. You can have like 100 of those, and there is going to be people that might need those, but they cannot afford to buy Tetra Pak, because once you start buying juices containers and milk containers, the containers per se are going to be so freaking expensive. So a lot of people are going to change their buying habits, and instead of buying sterilized in Tetra Pak kind of thing, you might find yourself using the old system. Meaning, if you used to have, those vintage containers for milk that were used in cartoons and everything, and they were made out of metal and stuff, and they were beautiful, yeah, kind of like that. Now people are going to be doing that. You can, if you have someone that is close by, as in, they live within 2 or 3 miles from your house, and they have a cow, you can get to them and you can give them your container, and then they will give you milk. And then, you can trade with them eggs or something like that. And also the egg containers that are, the ones that are made out of cardboard, if you collect several of them, you can trade them for fresh eggs, because the people that sell the eggs, they need those containers, and those containers, if you buy them new, they are very expensive. So people are going to be trading the containers per se, meaning, think about this. You can renew the milk because you have a cow. But where the hell are you going to find new containers if the plastic containers are no longer being produced because they're too expensive or whatever? And also because they require electricity, and also because, they require a lot of permits and stuff. While you do this, and you do this, with friends or family or whatever, and you might not necessarily need permits, because if it is organic, and and the people know that this thing is organic, you can do this, and it will give you freedom from the cost of these containers. And so the Tetra Pak containers, like I said, you can cut them to use them for fire transfer from one place, from one stove to the other one, and stuff like that. You can also use them for other things. But this is not a DIY video or something, so you might want to take a look at that. And also the caps of the plastic containers, if you cut them here and then you leave this part and that part, if you place them with a plastic bag, then basically you have a container. The plastic bag can become a container, because now the plastic bag will have this, and then you can use the plastic bag as a container for this, and this will seal it. And this is important to know, because most people are throwing away the Tetra Pak containers that have these kind of caps. So you can reuse that, and you can reuse different kind of caps for different kind of bags, and it's a way for you to save money, and it's also a way for you to save space, because if you are on the run or you are being a nomad, meaning you're going from place to place because whatever, because for whatever reason your place is flooded, your place is on fire, your place it's no longer safe, or you can't get there because the bridge that was there is no longer there because the bridge just collapsed and stuff like that. Oh hell, for a million reasons you might be on the run or something. So or you might be like a nomad. So you want to take a look at how to use things that you already have, so that you don't have to spend money on them, and also so that you do not need to store them. Because let's say that you're living in your car, you cannot have 40 of these small things for sealing bags, or like a back clipper or something, but instead you can use this one, and that one is already done in your Tetra Pak container, and that one you can put it like that. So basically you want to try to minimize the space of things that you have, and you want to minimize costs, and you want to try to recycle whatever you can recycle. So one of the things that my friends try to do is that we kind of ask each other sometimes, how do you do this? Or sometimes we talk about how we are saving costs, and how we are helping each other. In fact, if you are a canning person, the ones that are for example, when you make passata, or when you make bolognese sauces, or when you make whatever that it is in the container that is made out of glass, there are people that are going to be like, do you want to throw that away? Oh hell no, please save them for me. So there will be friends that will be like, please don't throw away that container, please don't throw away this, please don't throw away that, please collect it, and then you can give it to them. In fact, you also want to try, there is a lot, and I do mean a lot of people that cannot afford to buy animal food for their dog, their cat, whatever, and they will be asking all of their friends to put their leftovers in the fridge, and then in a plastic bag in the fridge, and then the people will go once a week or once every other week or whatever to your house to collect those food, the leftovers that you had, and then they can cook them all together for the animals. And also you might want to consider reusing the water that you have already in the containers that are already in the food that you are probably throwing away. You want to save that for plants. And if you do not have a garden, you can freeze them, and then you can give them to people that have gardens. So for example, when you open a tuna can, most tuna cans come with the tuna and the water. So Most people are like, yeah, I'm going to drain it. Oh, hell, if you're going to drain it, take that water, put it in a container, freeze it, and then you can give it to people that are, trying to get a lot of nutrition for kids and for their families, and sometimes for their animals. Quite frankly, is one of those things that you learn on kind of like a on the go situation. Mostly because friends are going to be asking you. And then some friends might not know and you can offer. So for example, if you know that your neighbor has a garden and you don't, and you buy a lot of tuna cans, well, you can, like I said, drain the water, and that water you can put it into a container, either a bag or a container, and even you can use one of those caps to seal it, and then you can give it to the neighbor and say, hey, this water is filled with nutrients for your plants. And also you can even there are a lot of people that will be like, please don't throw away the ashes from when you make grills, because the ashes you can use in your garden, and they are very, very, very important, mostly because they will prevent the water from leaving, which means that you don't need to use that much water when you are gardening. And it also is very good for nutrients, and it sometimes acts as a repellent for certain pests. So if you're making a grill, you might want to save the small dust from the charcoal, and you can put it apart. For example, also you can save the cooking oil every time that you fry something, and then instead of you throwing away the oil, you put it in a container, and then that oil can be used for lamps. That oil can be used for making soaps, and that oil can be used for other things. So some people that they might be using that. So you can save them for yourself for using later, like I said, in a lamp or something, or you can place it and then you can give it away. In fact, there are people that will do the biofuel with a lot of oils and stuff like that, and there will be so many things that you are not aware of, because when you don't have money to buy certain things, then you gotta be creative. And you gotta be creative as in, go and ask your grandparents how the hell did they manage to do everything. And the grandparents are going to tell you, oh, we don't need this. And in fact, if you cook chicken, you take the whole chicken and then you place it with water, salt, and a little bit of vinegar, and then you cook it for a very long time, whatever. That water and that grease is oil. And that oil is the one that you're supposed to be using for cooking when you have no access to cooking oil. Why? Because quite frankly, cooking oil is one of those things that is going to disappear. And then if you have no idea how the hell to make butter or how the hell to make, cooking oil out of nothing, then you better figure out how the hell to do this by removing the grease and the fat from animals, especially chickens and pigs. And if you are vegan or vegetarian, yeah, I'm sorry, but I want to be vegetarian, and in fact, I would rather be vegetarian my whole life. But this is one of those things that sometimes you probably are not going to have a choice. Right now, if you go to the supermarket, you can find fresh food that comes from another cities or another states, because there is transportation and because you have cooling systems. If you don't have somebody that makes the maintenance for the cooling systems, even if you have transportation, then basically you are screwed for the supermarkets and the restaurants. I have said this before. So that is going to affect a lot how you are supposed to be eating. And also it will affect a lot how you're going to be treating other people, because you are going to be in need of some of these things. And you are going to probably be making money out of things that you can learn how to do. For example, you can learn how to do your own vinegar. You can learn how to do your own, like I said, cooking oil out of, the out of the chicken or the pig or whatever. And you can also learn how to do kombucha. You can learn how to do, your own yeast. And quite frankly, the yeast is very, very, very important. And you can even sell it because not everybody knows how to make yeast. And the yeast, depending upon, but you have to know what kind of yeast, because there are different kind of yeast. There is the one that has oxygen and there is the one that doesn't have oxygen. And guess what? There is not going to be alcohol if you do not find yeast that do not have oxygen. So that kind of thing will give you an edge, and then it will give you a market, and that's how some people are surviving. Meaning they are thriving because nobody else can buy or can sell yeast, but you can because now you know how to do it. And if there is no white vinegar, because that one is produced by process of electricity and stuff like that, you can make your own vinegar out of fruits, out of whatever, and then you can also sell that. And that is going to be very important because most people are going to be, kind of like out of money for buying seasonings, and vinegar might be the only way for you to flavor water and for flavor certain salads and even certain foods. And you need vinegar and lemons, or acid. Actually, you need is citric acid, for doing several things, including making the oil from the chicken and the other things. So my point is that you really want to try now, if you are able, to sit down with your grandparents and with your mother or your father and ask them if they remember how they were surviving without these things. For example, in the US, the Native Americans, they always had very, very beautiful long hair. Now, how the hell did they wash that hair if they had no shampoo? And the answer is, there is a plant that you can get, and you can wash the root, and you take the plant and then you kind of grab it, and then you take the root, and then the root you cut it, and it will produce a liquid. That liquid is basically shampoo. And that shampoo is very, very, very awesome. And it is hypoallergenic, and it is very expensive if you know how to make it, and if you know what kind of plant it is. And it will help you be clean in your head and have a shiny hair that will actually will make you even grow more hair, because you learned about these things because you talk to some people. Now, there is a book that I haven't read it, but in the advertising, the book is about $40 or something. It's called The Old Ways, and basically this guy, he went out and then he collected all this information on what kind of plants to do for whatever, for shampoo, for treating surgeries, whatever. I mean, hell, there is a lot of info about how pioneers kind of people deal with a lot of things where there was no electricity and there was no roads and there was no nothing. And they thrive through these things, and they can trade all those things. And the book is called The Old Ways. I have no idea the author's name. I don't remember. But it is a thick book, and it is it has, I don't know how many pages. I think it has like 400 pages or something, because I saw it in the advertising and it's quite thick. And basically is an interview on how to make colloidal silver, how to make this, how to make morphine, how to make these things. I mean, the morphine is going to be one of those things that you really, really, really want to get. And the best part is that this guy tells you how to make it yourself. So especially if you have like pain or arthritis or whatever, you're probably going to want to have a look at all those things. And if you don't know how to do any of these, then you might want to take a look at your friends and ask them what do they want you to save from your house? Because see, if you have money and you can buy Tetra Pak containers, but your friends cannot buy Tetra Pak containers, you can cut them and then you can share them with them. And same with the canning. Some people will be able to buy, lots and lots of ketchup containers, because, you go to the supermarket, you buy the ketchup, and then you get the glass container with the ketchup, and you can save the glass container and you can give it to one of your friends that is actually making sauces, like dressings or something, and they might even give you something back. Meaning, for example, you give them 10 containers that are empty, and that person might give you one that is filled with something that now you don't have to do. And like I said, if you are in the idea of helping your neighbor and helping your friends, the friends that are close by, I'm not talking about friends that might be out of state or whatever, because that might prove, a hell of a lot of a challenge with the problem with transportation and with the problem of cost of delivery and stuff. But the ones that are close by, you can help them out a lot by saving the waters that have nutrients. You can save them for the animals. You can save the food for the compost. You can save the bones so that they can ground them, and then they can make paste for the animals and stuff like that. I mean, there are a lot of people that are going to need you to recycle things for them if you have a better opportunity that they do not have. And at the same time, if you see someone that has more opportunities than you can try to trade them, and you can try to be in better terms, and this will help you in a lot of ways. Number one, it will help you with the social aspect, because you are talking to people, you're not going crazy, going a hermit. Number two, it will help you in the sense of your negotiation skills, and it also will help you because this person that you are helping might help you connect to other people that have something that you need, and then it's kind of like a trading route or something. So for example, not everybody will trade seeds with anybody, because that's not happening. Because seeds are like, some of them are sterile, so they are not certified, and it is insane, and they cost a lot of money, and the plants might not grow, and you must be an expert or whatever. So maybe you have seeds, and maybe you can have 4 or 5 friends that are nearby, and you can come up with a group, and then you collect the botanical group of, I don't know, the Bay Area of California, whatever. And then you can trade seeds with them, because they know that your seeds are good, because these are people that are already into the trading business for seeds, and you are trading seeds with them. But that's because they already have that experience. It's not like you can go and say to everybody, hey, I'm trading seeds. Yeah, nobody will want it, because quite frankly, nobody will know what the hell you're trading. Nobody will know the value of what you have. The same will happen with a lot of things that you're trading. If nobody knows the value of what you have, then basically you're going to be screwed. And basically you're going to be stuck with things that might be very valuable, but they are not just flowing because of this problem. So you solve all this problem by recycling things and talking to your friends about them, and then this way also reduces trash, and it also helps you to keep your mind occupied in things that are important, like keeping the relationship, saving the environment, like saving money, like learning how to do certain things the other way, and like I said, this is important, and nobody tells you about this, because unless you are already having a lot of friends that are into a bad situation and then they ask for your help, and by the way, it's very difficult for a friend to come to you and say, hey, I'm broke and I can't feed my dog, so will you help me? I mean, it's not happening, unless that person, it really, really trusts you. So sometimes you really have to ask other people. like for example, if you know this person is an animal lover, you are like, oh, you're an animal lover, how you're feeding up your cats and your your dogs and I don't know, your hamsters, whatever they have. And then they might open up to you. If they open up to you, you can establish a relationship in which you're kind of equal because you want to help them out. And then they will establish a relationship with other people, and other people will help you when you're in a bad situation, because all you have to do is ask, hi, how you doing? Are you okay? What are you doing lately? When you say to someone, what are you doing lately? They might tell you, yeah, I was just trying to feed my cats, but I don't know what the hell. And then you go from there. You go like, okay, can I offer a solution? Can we figure out? Because, unless the person is like a sister or a brother to you, they are not going to come to you and say, hey, I need you to do this, You have to kind of come to an understanding with them. And do not make them feel that they are less than you because, you are more blessed or whatever. Because, quite frankly, you are going to be in the other end and at any time, for all I know, all the freaking time. Because, people are using in this boat together. Meaning, it's like you going into the Titanic. It doesn't matter if you got the best the best suite, the best room in the Titanic. If the freaking Titanic is sinking, you are sinking. I don't care if you're freaking rich. You are sinking. And you might have the lowest, of the room, the cheapest one. You're still sinking. And you can be the engineer, the freaking owner of the Titanic. If you are on it, you are sinking. So the point is that it doesn't matter the amount of money that you have. What matters is that you have connections with the people that will help you get a lifeboat and get out of there, or at least try to make it out alive. Because there is no way in hell that even if you have all the money and you are in the Titanic, you are going to be able to survive that alone. Hell no. You gotta have somebody that will pull up the ropes. You gotta have somebody that will help you figure out, where the hell is the exit. You gotta have somebody that will help you carry things to the boat for you. And, for all I know, you might not even know how to do the rowing thing. I don't know how to say that in English, but the row thing, like putting that to the water. Yeah, like the pallet to the water so that you can, get somewhere. And for all I know, you might not even have a plan. You might not even have, like a whistle so that you can say to somebody, hey, we are here and we're alive, please be rescued, So you do need other people. It doesn't matter if they're rich, they're poor, they are out of your league because, you have never talked to an engineer or something, but now you do. Because, they are important. And if you're sinking, it doesn't matter anything else. You need to figure out a way to work together with other people, and you cannot do that with people that are not necessarily far from you. Meaning, for example, let's say that you have a family in Washington and you are in Florida. Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's very, very, very hard for you to get help from somebody in Washington if you're in Florida. So the people that you're actually going to have to deal with is probably going to be your neighbors, and it's going to probably be, whoever is in your work and whoever is in your gym class or whoever is in the park that you frequent. And for all I know, it might be the people that you deal with when you go to the mall. And the new social place to be is probably going to be the mall. So I just wanted to let you know all of this, because if you don't have those connections already established, it's going to be even harder the longer you wait. Because at that point, everybody has like a group and you're not part of it. So you might want to take a look now about who is your neighbor. Do they have pets? Do they need this? Do they have a garden? Do they need that? Do they need this? Can we reuse this? Can we reuse that? Can we trade something? Can we establish a relationship through something? And it might not necessarily be through money, because money all kind of creates problems, but at the same time, you want to try to learn, your own negotiation skills, because maybe you think that you can negotiate anything, and then bad things happen, and then everybody is like, yeah, I'm sorry. It will be kind of like the people that are thinking, yeah, I'm just going to trade can openers for food, and then, the people that are hungry are kind of like, I'm sorry, I can just open the can, I can throw it against a freaking wall, I can break it, I can use a knife. Why will I trade my food if I'm hungry for a can opener? Because you are thinking in your head that something is going to go well because you are in good times and you can do it. Hell no, this is hard times and you probably can't do it. So you need to figure out a way how to practice. And this is the best way to do it. You help through recycling, to ideas on how to reuse water, how to reuse things that you have in the kitchen. For all I know, you can even be trading with your friends. Hey, can I trade a recipe with you? Maybe you can, give me some of your spices. Maybe you are creating a new blend of spices and then you can trade them with somebody else. I don't know, because it depends upon you and depends upon your situation. But the point is that you want to take a look at that and you want to think about it and you want to try to do it as fast as possible, so that when bad things happen, you already have everything set up. And it's going to be to make things easier, especially for us, the women. So thank you for watching.